This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. Time is running short to come up with a solution to Montana's more than $200 million budget crisis.
That's right, with future bills to pay and a looming deadline. Where will the governor cut? And what will lawmakers agree to increase to keep Montana out of the red?
Governor Steve Bullock and state lawmakers are discussing options, but the deadline is right around the corner.
Chief political reporter Mike Dennison has the latest for us tonight on this developing story.
It's been 2 months since Governor Steve Bullock announced the state budget has a $227 million hole and that it needs to be filled by a combination of spending cuts and something else. But with the budget clock ticking away, neither the governor nor state legislators have come forth with a detailed plan on how to resolve the crisis. The Bullock administration outlined more than $200 million in spending cuts in early September that he can make himself. Then the Democratic governor said he doesn't want to cut that deep and that the Republican-controlled legislature needs to meet in special session to approve budget transfers and tax increases to minimize the cuts. Bullock, however, has yet to outline a specific proposal. That's frustrating leaders of the GOP legislature.
We need to see a very specific set of reductions in spending. We then need time to react to that and put together our plans depending on whatever he has done. And it takes time to do that.
In just 4 weeks, the state must make a big monthly payment to public schools. Bullock has said if lawmakers don't meet by then to generate some more money, there's not enough cash in the state treasury to cover it. Democratic House Minority Leader Jenny Eck says the governor and key lawmakers have held numerous meetings to find a solution they think a majority of the legislature will pass.
Because we have been pushing and pushing and pushing for months for a solution here, and it is absolutely beyond time to come up with one. And you know, the governor has been at the table, we're at the table, we are absolutely looking to reach an agreement. It is absolutely critical that we do.
The discussion include liquor taxes, rental cars, and lodging. But when asked what the final proposal might be or when it will be made public, Bullock's office says negotiations are ongoing and fluid. If a special session is to happen in November, Governor Bullock will have to pull the trigger very soon. But as of Tuesday, still no word on when or if that's going to happen. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now the governor has the authority to call lawmakers back into session and outline that agenda.
The owner of Montana's only private prison is offering $30 million to help solve the state's budget crisis.
But Governor Steve Bullock indicates he's not interested in pursuing that offer. The money is in a fund meant to help the state buy the private prison in Shelby if the state wants to pursue that option. But the prison owner, which controls the fund, has said it could make that money available to help fill Montana's $227 million budget hole. As a condition, however, prison owner Core Civic would like its contract to run the prison extended another 10 years. State lawmakers whose districts include the Shelby prison favor the proposal. Republican Senator Lou Jones of Conrad says the governor could accept the deal and bring the $30 million into the state treasury.
But Bullock's office today told MTN News the deal is not in the cards. As they put it, the governor is focused on finding a balanced solution to the budget, not obligating the state to a new 10-year, multi-million-dollar contract. The Bullock administration has, however, indicated it's interested in exploring whether the state should buy the prison, but only after the current contract expires, which is in 2019.
Memorial arrangements are now set for former Montana Governor Judy Marts, who died Monday. A celebration of life will be held Saturday at the Butte Civic Center starting at 11 a.m. The former governor will also be lying in state at the Capitol Rotunda in Helena from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Friday. The Marts family says the public is welcome to both events. The 74-year-old Marts died in her home Monday in Rockford, just outside Butte, after a long battle with pancreatic cancer. Marts was Montana's first and so far only female governor. A Republican from Butte, Marts won election as governor in 2000 and served a single term from 2001 to 2004.
A freak accident kills a 21-year-old Idaho man whose car was struck by an elk near Potomac, which is on Montana Highway 200. Now, this all happened around 7:15 Monday night. The Montana Highway Patrol reports an eastbound Toyota driven by a Great Falls woman struck an elk on the roadway. The animal then went airborne and struck a westbound truck driven by the victim. The man's truck left the roadway and hit several embankments. The driver, who was wearing a seatbelt, died at the scene. The other driver was not injured.
A grizzly bear attacked a hunter and her guide in the backcountry south of Cody last week. Now, that information released today by the Wyoming Game and Fish Department. The hunter and guide were field dressing and quartering an elk in the Boulder Basin area of the Shoshone National Forest when the bear attacked. Now, the victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The bear ran off with a part of the elk. Wildlife officials have not been able to locate the bear.
Well, turning to weather, Bob, those trick-or-treaters already are out making the rounds tonight, so how's the forecast looking?
Well, you know, last night we talked about slight chance of rain. We've already had some. Let's look at it on the Doppler radar. You can see there's Billings there. There's some showers moved in, but you'll notice those showers are in the process of moving out, so we could see this stuff kind of move in, dump a little light rain, and then move out of here. Here's what our forecast map shows. By 7 o'clock, those showers will be out of there, and it looks like they'll be gone throughout most of the night, even by 10 o'clock. Then by tomorrow morning, the rain comes back. Then later that morning, more rain starts changing over to snow showers. The snow is pretty much gone by 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. But you'll notice we still have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings from Canada all the way down to Cody tonight. Snow ranging anywhere from 1 to 4 inches up by Great Falls in the plains, all the way up to 20 inches in the Beartooth Mountains. So it's a lot of snow moving in there. Outside of that, you see basically 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow on the outsides of that winter storm warning. Also, one other thing I want to show you, we still have a wind advisory for the Beartooth foothills. Winds gusting to about 60 miles per hour until tomorrow morning. We'll have the rest of your forecast in a few more minutes.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Lots of little ghouls and goblins dressed in their Halloween best make the rounds in downtown Billings today.
Yeah, nothing like getting a head start on this spooky holiday over the noon hour today. Check out this year's costume fair. Thousands of little Draculas, dinosaurs, and superheroes filling their bags with all sorts of treats.
The annual downtown trick-or-treat gives some of the little ones a chance to get their sugar fix before bedtime or just have a good base when they head back out tonight. The Downtown Billings Alliance facilitates the yearly event.
Very cute. Now, if you're still unsure of your Halloween plans, well, may we suggest some of the other events going on around town tonight. Trick-or-treat at the mall. Rimrock Mall runs from 5 to 9 p.m. for those who don't want to face the chill. You can also head to Elevation Church down near Metro Park. They are having candy and games for the little monsters from 5:30 till 8 tonight.
There's little princesses in
there,
I think,
right.
too. Now, if haunts are more your style, Haunted Antics is back at the Moss Mansion. A haunted maze and a horror theater. The maze, $10. A combo ticket is $25. And finally, the annual Haunted Hollow at Two Moon Park kicks off at 6:30 and goes till 10:30 tonight. It totals 1 mile of terror for $10.
It sounds like for the older kids, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
A basketball star might be a costume from some kids out there tonight, but for one Billings boy, it's a reality. 6-year-old Elijah Sally signed onto MSUB's basketball team today.
Q2's Asia Gore tonight tells us about this special honor for a boy who has spent the past 8 months fighting cancer.
Today's an exciting day for our basketball program. We're extremely proud to announce the newest member.
Standing 4'0", Elijah Sally can't exactly dunk the ball, but Coach Jamie Stevens says this 6-year-old is a standout.
His courage, strength, determination, positive attitude are all things that we try to teach our players, his teammates.
Elijah was diagnosed with leukemia in March. For the past 2 weeks, he's been living in a hospital bed.
He just finished a pretty rough cycle of chemotherapy. His immune system is pretty much non-existent right now.
Once this round of treatment is complete, Sally says her son will receive chemotherapy for another 3 years. The Sally family says fighting cancer takes a team, and now they have one.
It's very humbling going through this experience and just being knowing that we'll be a big impact in his life right now.
Each of the past 13 days of Elijah's hospital stay, a member of the MSUB Yellow Jackets has paid a visit.
That day that the team came up to visit him in the hospital and every subsequent day after that, we knew we had 12 extensions to our family. Elijah has 12 new brothers.
An organization called Team Impact, which aims to improve the quality of life for children with life-threatening illnesses, contacted MSUB, and soon thereafter, Elijah left his hospital room and stepped out onto the court.
We were lucky that Elijah, our first day of official practice, joined us, and he stayed the entire time, and he got through the practice better than some of his teammates did.
He's still getting used to the spotlight, but he already knows he's a star player.
Do you dunk on your teammates?
In Billings, I'm Asia Gore, MTN News.
Thank you, Asia. What a great story. I've known the Sally family for a long time. Quality folks.
Wow. Now, Elijah says he is claiming number 6 for his jersey.
We'll let him. Still to come on tonight's 5:30 News. You don't have to ignore your sweet tooth this Halloween, but yes, moderation is key. We'll hear what the experts recommend.
And later in sports, Scott shows us how Q2's Athlete of the Week helped Laurel's girls to your state soccer title.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.